His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali was re-elected as President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Holness was re-elected as Prime Minister of Jamaica. Dr. the Honorable Godwin Friday was elected as the new Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Honorable Philip Pierre was re-elected as Prime Minister of St. Lucia. And Honorable Mia Amor Motley has returned as the Prime Minister of the Republic of Barbados. Warm congratulations to them all. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, even as we celebrate our gains, CARICOM heads of government are acutely aware of the importance of this meeting against the background of the prevailing environment. The theme, structure, and agenda for these 3 days reflect that awareness. We have gathered as a family with considerable time carved out for frank and thorough discussions of and engagement on priority issues. To have all of our member states represented at the level of head of government despite the heavy demands at home is testament to their commitment to this region and to the value of working together in our common interests. Individual national priorities remain vital. However, our collective strength is what amplifies our voice, secures opportunities for growth, and mitigates risk. This has been the approach to our united advocacy on the situation in Haiti, which has helped to transform a regional concern into a global priority. And the decision of 4 of our member states, Barbados, Belize, Dominica, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, to work together as of the 1st of October 2025 and allow full free movement among themselves within the framework of the CARICOM single market and economy is a pioneering step that has paved the way for increased economic activity and people-to-people contacts. We must continue to act together where our interests align, which in fact is far more often than it is sometimes made to appear. At the same time, the shifting global order presents tangible opportunity as new markets emerge, strategic partnerships are recalibrated. CARICOM must engage extra-regionally with intention and with coherence by articulating our shared priorities in such areas as energy transition, digital infrastructure, building resilience to climate change and technology. We can attract investments and forge business opportunities that are aligned with our development objectives. A coordinated foreign policy reduces our vulnerability to the inevitable external shocks which no member state can effectively absorb alone. The high number of third states that have pledged their commitment to increase engagement with the community, many of which are represented here today, demonstrates that cooperation and credibility can be transformed into new opportunities for growth, resilience, and shared prosperity. In this vein, I am extremely pleased to welcome the new President and Chairman of the Board of Directors of Afreximbank, Dr. George Elombe. His presence here today indicates CARICOM's renewed efforts to actively foster South-South partnerships, including with the African Union. Successful second CARICOM Africa Summit was held last year, and we are committed to continuing to deepen our engagement in such areas as finance and development, advocacy for reparations, air connectivity, and cultural exchanges. I also welcome our additional special guests, His Excellency Adel bin Ahmed Al Jaber, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs and Climate Envoy of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, who joins us following the successful inaugural CARICOM Saudi Arabia Summit held in 2023. Her Excellency Noura bin Mohammed Al Kari, Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, United Arab Emirates, and the Honorable Shirley Botchway, Commonwealth Secretary General. We look forward to their engagements with heads of government. Esteemed ladies and gentlemen, the task before us is formidable but not insurmountable. Our regional integration movement has demonstrated tangible gains in human and social development, foreign policy coordination, security cooperation, and economic development, which have meaningfully improved the lives of the people we serve. As member states build on these achievements, the Secretariat remains firmly committed to maximizing the skills and experience of its staff members and other variable resources with which we have been entrusted. CARICOM citizens from every walk of life, in every corner of our community, are looking to us to fulfill the commitment we made as signatories to the Treaty of Chaguaramas. Akwanje, Sawian, and all the young people represented tonight embody the hope and promise of our region. They are the reminders that our solemn duty is to move, as the theme for this meeting urges, beyond words to action for a sustainable, thriving CARICOM. Distinguished guests, we are working towards ensuring that the defining outcome of this 50th regular meeting will be that it propelled us decisively towards that goal. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Dr. Barnett. Culture is one of the ways we recognize ourselves. It connects identity with expression and is carried forward through participation and practice. We will now present a combined drum corps, the First Federal Brotherhood Drummers and the Spirit Drummers, in a drumology rooted in our Afro-Caribbean traditions. Moments like these extend beyond words. They speak through the rhythm of the African drum, a voice across generations and across the Caribbean community. Thank you for coming together through rhythm to be a part of the opening ceremony of the 50th regular meeting of the Conference of the Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, convened under the theme, Beyond Words, Action Today for a Thriving, Sustainable CARICOM. Ladies and gentlemen, we now invite Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica, to deliver his remarks.
Her Excellency, Dame Marcella Liebert, Governor General, and the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, colleague heads of government, Dr. Carla Barnett, Secretary General of CARICOM, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is a good evening in St. Kitts and Nevis. Let me first extend sincere appreciation for our gracious host, the government and people of St. Kitts, under the able leadership of your Prime Minister, Dr. Terence Drew. I am grateful for the warm hospitality and the excellent arrangements put in place to facilitate this meeting. I also warmly acknowledge my colleague heads who have been re-elected and newly elected since our last regular meeting in July. The Honorable Philip Pierre, Prime Minister of St. Lucia, and the Honorable Mia Motley, Prime Minister of Barbados, the Honorable Godwin Friday, Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Heartiest congratulations to you and best wishes for a successful tenure. You know, Irfan and I were elected, not since our last conference. We were elected before, right, Irfan? Newly. We were re-elected before, yes. Friends, it is a privilege to address this 50th regular conference of heads of government of the Caribbean community. 50 years or 50 meetings of this body represents far more than institutional continuity. They tell a story of political maturity, determination, and a shared conviction to Caribbean civilization. But anniversaries also demand honest reflection. We meet at a time when the speed of global change is outpacing the speed of regional coordination. Climate shocks arrive faster than our financing mechanisms. Criminal networks adapt faster than our institutions. Technological disruption is reshaping economies faster than our regulatory and skills frameworks can adapt. These challenges do not wait for us to be comfortable to align policy, resources, and action. The question before us, therefore, is not whether CARICOM can endure, for we have and we will, but whether it can deliver for our people with urgency and relevance in a rapidly changing world. For decades, an idealized narrative around Caribbean integration, while well-intentioned, has framed perhaps unrealistic expectations within our respective populations. It has also perhaps unintentionally diminished the genuine strengths of our existing arrangement. An association of independent states bound not by uniformity, but by shared purpose, mutual regard, and a deep history of collaboration. CARICOM is not, and has never claimed to be, a political union. Our treaty does not mandate a singular foreign policy or a supranational authority. And because we are sovereign states, each accountable to our own electorates, we will at times assess risks differently, sequence priorities differently, or interpret geopolitical opportunities differently. That is not evidence of the weakness of our association. This is the natural expression of sovereign democracies navigating an increasingly turbulent global environment. Too often, differences in national perspectives are portrayed as fractures, threatening the regional project. I submit that they are nothing of the sort. While there are undoubtedly circumstances where one voice has and will work for us to great effect globally, variations in national perspectives is not a liability to be feared. It is a resource to be harnessed. The measure of our integration should therefore not be uniformity of position, but effectiveness of cooperation. Indeed, our diversity of economies, political traditions, development strategies, and governance approaches is one of CARICOM's most underappreciated strengths. Each member state functions as its own laboratory of democracy, able to test policy innovations that others can study, refine, and adapt. This is not divergence. It is distributed regional problem solving. I offer Jamaica's approach to security as the first example. For decades, we have confronted levels of violence more severe and more persistent than elsewhere in the region. It has forced us to develop responses, legislative, operational, community-based, and technological, that may now offer lessons for sister states encountering emerging criminal threats. Our region's variability, therefore, is not an obstacle to integration. It is integration, practical, organic, and rooted in shared learning rather than a forced concept of uniformity. Still, even as sovereign states with sometimes differing priorities, there are core challenges such as regional security that binds us together and demand deeper cooperation. Organized criminal networks are increasingly sophisticated, technologically enabled, armed, and not constrained by national boundaries. This week's events in Mexico exemplify that. Left unchecked, such networks can grow powerful and brazen enough to challenge the state itself. The Montego Bay Declaration on Transnational Organized Crime and Gangs, adopted during Jamaica's chairmanship, marked an important step in establishing a unified regional stance. This work must continue through intelligence sharing, joint operations, interoperable border management systems, and stronger alignment with regional and international partners. There is also the closely related matter of territorial integrity. As small states with vast maritime spaces and strategically important geographies, we each face pressures, external claims, illicit incursions, and evolving geopolitical interests that can challenge the sanctity of our borders. While our approaches may differ, our commitment to the principle is shared. Every member of CARICOM has the right to decide how best to defend its territory and maritime domain, and it is reasonable for them to expect the solidarity of every member state to that end. During our tenure as chair, Jamaica placed significant emphasis on regional security. We strengthened collaboration with CARICOM impacts, deepened engagement with Interpol, and advanced coordinated efforts on border management and intelligence sharing. On Haiti, we reaffirmed that CARICOM has a critical role in supporting the political, humanitarian, and security pillars of the recovery. Jamaica remains fully committed to the work of the UN Security Council, endorsed Gang Suppression Force, the Standing Group of Partners, the Eminent Persons Group, and the OAS in supporting a coherent and sequenced pathway towards stability. Friends, we must address the situation in Cuba with clarity and courage. Cuba is our Caribbean neighbor. Its doctors and teachers have served across our region. Its people are part of our shared history. But today, the Cuban people face severe economic hardship, energy shortages, and growing humanitarian strain. Jamaica is sensitive to the struggles of the Cuban people. Humanitarian suffering serves no one. Apart from our fraternal care and solidarity with the Cuban people, it must be clear that a prolonged crisis in Cuba will not remain confined to Cuba. It will affect migration, security, and economic stability across the Caribbean basin. It is therefore important that we carefully consider this matter and take collective action. Let there be no doubt, Jamaica stands firmly for democracy, human rights, political accountability, and open market-based economies. We do not believe that long-term stability can exist where economic freedom is constrained and political participation is limited. Sustainable prosperity requires openness to ideas, to enterprise, to investment, the will of the people. This movement, therefore, calls not for rhetoric, but statecraft, even as we encourage support for humanitarian relief. Jamaica supports constructive dialogue between Cuba and the United States aimed at de-escalation, reform, and stability. We believe there is space, perhaps more space now than in years past, for pragmatic engagement that protects the Cuban people from any further deterioration in their circumstances and instead promotes national and regional prosperity. Friends, colleagues, as it has been said, the geopolitical environment is shifting, maybe shifted. This may well be a moment of opportunity, a moment for transition, for recalibration, for a new chapter. CARICOM can play a constructive role, not as an ideological, but as a community of democratic states offering cooperation, economic reform, and social development. This is not a moment for division in our community. It is a moment for maturity, for principled realism, and if we act wisely, for positive change in our hemisphere. This brings me to the second shared challenge, navigating the transformation of the global system itself. The new geopolitical and economic environment is being shaped by strategic rivalry, supply chain realignment, and a new era of trade protectionism alongside technological disruptions powered by artificial intelligence. Control over information platforms, algorithms, and networks now influence economic power, national security, and policy autonomy as profoundly as control over physical resources once did. For small states, the risks of marginalization in this environment are real, but so too are the opportunities for leapfrogging if we act deliberately. Digital capability is now a component of sovereignty. States that do not shape how technology is deployed will increasingly find their policy space shaped by others. Small states cannot afford to be passive observers of these shifts. Yet, here again, CARICOM's diversity is an asset. Because we are not bound to a single foreign policy. States can cultivate rather than viewing this as fragmentation. We should recognize it as opportunity. Multiple points of engagement in a complex global system that can collectively enhance the region's resilience, influence, and optionality. No single Caribbean state can build scale across these domains alone. But together, we can pool talent, align standards, develop digital public infrastructure to enhance productivity, inclusion, and resilience. Success will, however, require deep engagement, information sharing, and collaboration with each other. It will require true enhanced cooperation. For our part, Jamaica remains committed to a transparent, fair, and rules-based is responsive to the vulnerabilities of small island developing states while enabling us to compete and thrive in a tech-driven global economy. The Caribbean single market and economy remains one of our most important instruments of translating regional cooperation into economic opportunity. It is a practical framework that allows member states to pool advantages, reduce barriers, and create a larger economic space in which our thought flexibility. It allows integration where our interests converge, while giving each country the room to sequence reforms at its own pace. Our task is to make the single market work better by improving connectivity, aligning standards where it matters, easing the movement of skills, and building compatible digital and logistics infrastructure so that scale is possible even for the smallest among us. A more functional CSME is essential to building resilience, raising productivity, and ensuring that Caribbean enterprises can thrive in an increasingly competitive global economy. Now, our region's solidarity was most recently powerfully demonstrated 4 months ago when Jamaica was struck by Hurricane Melissa, the most intensive hurricane to ever make landfall in that our people, our institutions, and our infrastructure. Yet, the recovery now underway stands as